Welcome to the penalty box.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Penalty Box podcast. I'm your host, Mia Redders, and I'm so excited to jump in and talk about everything. But first, I want to start off with our little intro update section. We have hit 22,000 followers on Instagram, which is so cool. Thank you guys so much. It's just so cool watching everybody engage with the content and like it. Sorry, I ramble every week about it, but I'm thankful. Our podcast, I think we're at 45,000. I'm not sure, I haven't looked recently, but I am so thankful, and I still cannot believe that people come here and listen to me yap about hockey. It's so cool and surreal and crazy. Do you hear the birds? They are chirping today, and I'm going to leave that in because I love the sound of birds. Anyway, sorry. Let's get into our playoff updates. As of when I am recording this, the Florida Panthers currently are winning 2-0 against the Edmonton Oilers, and the next game is actually tonight. When you're listening to this, it would be yesterday. So, I don't know. Who's going to win? I don't know. Here's where I'm torn. Because the Panthers haven't won a cup, right? Like that, everybody deserves to win a cup. But, well, not everybody. Okay, you know what I mean. And then, on the other hand, we have Connor McDavid, who has never gotten a Stanley Cup. You know? But anyway, those are my thoughts on it. I am excited to see what's going to happen. I genuinely have no idea. I mean, obviously, with the stats, the Florida Panthers seem to be the team that's going to win. But also, I don't want to just, give it all and just ignore the Oilers, you know? Sometimes the underdogs come through. You never know. So, statistically, the Florida Panthers, but we got to root for the underdogs sometimes. We are going to hop into our Hockey Hot Topics segment, and today we're going to be talking about somebody who just actually got drafted to the PWHL. If you guys did not know, this past week, the PWHL had their draft, and it was incredible. It was so cool watching all these girls find their teams. It was really great. It was so cool. But there was some controversy because there is a woman named Britta Curl. And she was drafted, I believe, second pick, 10th overall to Minnesota. And she was the captain of the Wisconsin Badgers, and she is good at hockey. But she has some troubling posts and views, and her name is Britta Curl. Whew, okay, I feel like I introduced that right. I recorded that 8 times because I didn't know how to get into it. But anyway, what happened was Britta Curl was drafted, and we all know that the PWHL is so LGBTQ allied. Does that make sense? Come on, be so for real. Let's be so for real. I myself am a bisexual woman. So seeing somebody be drafted to the PWHL when they are making these kind of comments against people of the LGBTQ community, it's confusing. But anyway, let me dive into the actual story to explain. So, like I said, the draft was a little bit earlier this week. And when they actually selected Britta, there were audible boos, which is honestly crazy to me because I feel like everybody here is very restrained. So that shocked me. And I was watching it on the YouTube stream, and everybody was going crazy in the chat. Everybody was flipping out, and I don't blame them. I was like, oh, huh? And the PWHL's YouTube admin actually posted a chat saying, quote, "As an inclusive league, we will remain dedicated to ensuring a safe and welcoming environment for players, staff, and fans. We acknowledge that individuals will have differing views on various topics, and not all personal perspectives will align with the values of the PWHL," end quote. Now listen, I completely agree. I agree. But the thing is, we are so early on in the PWHL that every move is so important. I don't want to get canceled for this. I have literally recorded this segment 82 times because personally, I am very 50-50. Like, I will say it how it is. I will say if something's BS, and I'm okay with people having different opinions, whether it's whatever, religiously, I don't really care. Like, you know what I mean? But when they take their views and form it into an extremely negative thing targeted towards a group of people or towards a person, and they make an environment uncomfortable, or they're spreading hate, that's when it's not okay. That's when it's not just different views. That's when it's actually becoming something that's not okay. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm making sense. I really hope that made sense. But the PWHL, their comment literally said that they have differing views. Which, listen, we are way past different views. We are at the point of this woman clearly does not share any of the same morals that you guys do. It's not just like, oh, I actually hate both Trump and Biden. I'm going to vote Jill Stein. Vote Jill Stein, guys. Come on, please. It's to the point of like openly hating people. And you will see what I'm talking about in a minute. I'm going to talk about some of the things that she has liked, tweeted, posted, commented, whatever, publicly on the internet. So these views that the PWHL is talking about confuses me, but whatever. So Britta has posted in support of exclusion of transgender women from sports. She's also liked posts talking about how transgender individuals are, quote, perverted, end quote. And she also liked posts talking about how if you disagree with her views, then you're a weirdo. She also liked another post making fun of inclusive language, referring to people who can become pregnant but who do not identify as women. And let me tell you, personally, that one does bother me a little bit. I think what I really get bothered by is why we can't call moms moms. Well, we can, but some people get so offended by it and they want it to be something else on the forefront. You know what I mean? Like replacing the word woman or mother or, something like that, I just think is offensive towards women, and it's not okay to erase cis women. I think all women, all men, I think all of us should just live in harmony together and just vibe with our own titles and not try to erase anyone else's or do anything like that on both sides. Every side. Okay, guys? Let's just love everybody. Jeez Louise. Anyway. God, if I get canceled for that, I will quit the internet because, God, I'm literally just saying I want everybody to live together happily. Anyway, she also liked a post from some, Italian politician talking about, gender identity. And the politician actually started her career. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's like, oh my God. She started her career in neo-fascist and post-fascist organizations and openly praised Mussolini and denounced same-sex marriage and feminism and supporting the anti-gender movement, which is very strange to me, which I know this, again, isn't Britta, but she's supporting a person that has these values. And Britta, girl, you are a woman in the PWHL now. If that is not a sign of showing women they can do more than just cook and clean or whatever, I don't know what is. So you supporting people that are not feminists and that are against these things, it's just very confusing to me, and maybe she's just confused herself. Like, it's confusing. Now, granted, I know this is so 50-50, and I'm gonna try to play both sides here because personally, I don't know if I said this before or if it was in one of the 30 recordings I did of this segment, but I don't like to listen to or watch things where the person is so biased and they don't even try to, like, think about how the other person is feeling or, you know? So I am going to do my best, as always, to play both sides and give empathy to everybody. So on one hand, I do get it. Why are we bringing outside things inside? You know? Isn't this about hockey? But then, on the other side, the PWHL is kind of showing, hey, we don't really care, even though we've said we are so, allied based and, all of that. It's a very confusing situation. And people have been actually like emailing and canceling their season tickets, and I don't blame them. I mean, come on, it's Pride Month. It's Pride Month, and it just kind of, somebody did comment that, quote, PWHL Minnesota is talking the talk but not interested in walking the walk, end quote. And I kind of agree. But like I said, this whole situation is so confusing because on one hand, you're like, oh my God, go girl, you just got drafted in the PWHL. That's awesome. You're a powerhouse on the ice. You're so good. Like, that's great. But then you're like, wait, PWHL Minnesota, do you even, like, care? Are you just saying the things you say to sell or to appeal? Do you know what I mean? It's all I can say over and over is it's a very confusing situation. And now we're going to go into more of the posts she has liked because we covered the kind of like feministy ones, and now we're going to go into the worst ones because it gets worse, guys. I'm so sorry. So she liked posts talking about Kyle Rittenhouse being not guilty, and if you don't know who he is, he killed 2 people and I think shot 1 or 2 others during some protests. And the protests were for a man named Jacob Blake who passed away. So, and he was a black man. Britta, she also liked another post about police killing a black man. And it's a little concerning to be publicly thinking and liking these things. I mean, I'm scared enough to like leave a hate comment on a racist TikTok video. Like, I'll just say like, girl, ... or like, like no call. Like, I won't be like attacking them, but I'm sorry, I just could never imagine publicly like liking and posting stuff like this, or even just in private. Okay, what I'm trying to get at is imagine what she is thinking in private. That's what I'm thinking about. I don't know how that came out. And the head coach of Minnesota, he actually defended Britta Curl and the pick. And I'm actually very shocked about this because he not only just like dismissed it, he could have just been like, I don't want to talk, no answer, whatever. He defended her. He said, quote, "We were just trying to pick the best players available. We did our homework on her. She's obviously a great player. We talked to coaches who said that she's a great kid, a great competitor, great in the locker room. I talked to her teammates on Team USA and some other areas. They said she's a great teammate, coach. You'd love to have her. For me, that's what we're looking at doing, and I'm really happy that we did. Now, great answer, Ken. That was great. But he absolutely fumbles the next question. Somebody asked if he talked to anybody in the LGBT community, any of the local, members before the draft. And he was so shook by this. He was so shook by this. I'm sorry, I have to do it in a kind of in the way that he said it. So he said, quote, "Did I speak to anyone from the community? I talked with players, with coaches. That's tough to answer for me. I spoke with a lot of different people." End quote. Okay, Ken. Okay, buddy. Listen, maybe she can grow. Maybe she can grow. Maybe she can learn. Maybe being in this environment, I don't know. I don't know. We can only wish for the best and just hope that people hating people just stops. I mean, it never will, but I hope that the up high people do the right thing and figure out how to tell people that they don't support her behavior, because so far I haven't really seen that. And that's a little concerning, especially since the PWHL is such an LGBTQ thing. And this hockey hot topic has been so long, but it's a serious one and it's very prevalent everywhere on the internet right now. So I felt like I had to do a deep dive with that. I'm so sorry. But let's move on to the next hockey hot topic. And then we had another Devils player, Calfoot, and somebody who did play on the Ottawa Senators, Alex Fermenton. And they were revealed, I believe, in February of this year, and it was crazy. The woman who did file said that she was assaulted by 8 team members, and for my knowledge, I have not found any other people that have been charged. But it's been crazy. I mean, it's sad. It took so long for them to look into this, and it's just kind of jarring to know that this happened and that they were just playing in our league and people were thirsting over Carter Hart and he had allegedly done something like this. All of this is alleged, by the way, until proven guilty, but I don't think that's going to be very hard. Anyway, guys, this episode is going to be so long and I really genuinely apologize, but we have such serious topics this week. Oh my god. Okay. Did I record an episode or a segment? I believe I've talked about this on the podcast before. I know I have posted about it on the Penalty Box's Instagram back in the day. But pretty much the Canada junior men's hockey team in 2018, they won gold in Sweden after they defeated them. And major trigger warning, I'm stuttering already, but at a event while they were celebrating, a bunch of players allegedly sexually assaulted intoxicated women in their hotel room that night. Allegedly. Which is literally disgusting. And they ended up charging 5 players with this. And it was kind of shocking when the names all came out. I don't know if any of you guys were on the hockey interwebs at this point, but literally everybody went crazy. And it started off, I believe, with them announcing Carter Hart, Dylan Dubé, and then Michael McLeod, which he is on the Devils, and that was a big shock. I met the man. I fist bumped the man. I did. Should have punched him. Sorry. And then it went to another Devils player named Calfoot, and then a former Ottawa Senators forward named Alex Fermenton. Now, it's a little confusing because the woman that filed this did say she was assaulted by 8 people, but 5 have been named so far. So I'm going to catch you up. I'm going to give you a quick SparkNote timeline. So January 5th, 2018, Canada won 3-1 at the 2018 IIHF World Junior Hockey Championships. Then June 17th, 18th, and 19th, that same year, in London, Ontario, the champions were reunited at a gala and golf event, which is it's called the Hockey Canada Foundation Gala and Golf Event, and it's very prestigious, and everybody goes, and it's this 2-day long fundraiser, and most of the players were given these accommodations at fancy hotels like Delta Hotel London Armories, and apparently it was amazing in the beginning. The first night was just a team dinner with just the players and the staff for them to recap and, just chat. And the gala started the next day on Monday, June 18th, and the players were making public appearances. They were going to cocktail hours, they were having fun. Over 1,000 people packed in there to fundraise, and they raised almost, I think, $1 million, maybe more. But that ended at 10 p.m. After that, a bunch of players reportedly went to Joe Cool's, which is this sports pub, and they all went to the back room. And then from there, they moved on to a bar called Jack's that was packed. And that is where a woman, we don't know her name, they just call her EM in all the documents. That's where she met them and they met her. So the player that met EM, the first one, we just know him as John Doe 1. But EM, the woman, she says she became increasingly intoxicated before leaving the bar with John Doe 1. And she went back with him to the hotel and they did the thing. And then after John Doe 1 invited the teammate, this is making me triggered. I don't like talking about this. But after John Doe 1 invited his teammates into the room without her consent. And I'm not going to go into details, but they made her do bad things without her consent. And when she tried to leave, she was, quote, directed, manipulated, and intimidated, end quote, into remaining there. She said she got scared for her physical safety when players brought their golf clubs into the room. I literally want to throw up. Sorry. Holy fuck. Anyway. Before she left, she was apparently forced into making a bunch of videos where she said everything was consensual. The next morning, which was Tuesday, June 19th, the players went to the gala again to continue, the fundraiser. And the victim, allegedly her stepfather, called the Hockey Canada's Human Resources Department and reported what happened, which honestly good for her because it's so scary. It's so scary. So Tom Rennie, I believe that's how you say his name, he's the CEO of Hockey Canada. He said that him and the president of Hockey Canada found out about this when they got back in Calgary after the gala. And then they said they went over the info, and from there they contacted the police, and then players were informed that there would be an investigation and that they should cooperate. Hockey Canada officials, they said that they don't know what players were involved in the assault, but remember, this is in 2018. Now we're in February 2019. London police closed the investigation. They closed it. No charges were filed. September 2020, Hockey Canada closed their own third-party investigation. In April 2022, the victim filed her statement of claim with the Ontario Superior Court of Justice and asked for $3.55 million in damages from Hockey Canada. the Canadian Hockey League, and the 8 players, including but not limited to members of the Canada U20 men's junior hockey team from the 2018 World Junior team. In May 2022, Hockey Canada settled its case on behalf of the defendants, and they did this like out of court. They found a settlement. We don't know the amount, but one of the, I believe it's the president, he testified that they liquidated investments to complete the settlement. So, I don't know. Later that month, they found out that TSN was going to be making a news story about this. And then on May 26th, a TSN reporter broke the news. And that is when everything started going crazy. Now we go a little bit later into June 2022. Now everything is public. Now this is where it gets even more confusing because they brought like the committee to talk about it, like this Hockey Canada committee, and Rennie and Smith, the people we talked about before, they said that 19 players, 19, were encouraged but not required to talk to third-party investigators. And then they also said that they don't know who the 8 players are. They don't know. They have no idea. It's unknown to them. They have no idea, guys. Anyway, now remember, we're in June 2022, and multiple players are starting to release statements saying they're not involved in the alleged assault. So that's like, ooh, okay. And then on June 30th, Rennie retires. So Smith takes over. July 2022 happens, and Hockey Canada reveals that all the players have to participate in an investigation or else they will be fully banned from future Hockey Canada activities. So this is a big deal. And they also said that Hockey Canada is going to start requiring sexual violence and consent training for all its employees and players. If you hear a whistle, it's because I live next to an elementary school. But, what the fuck? I had to take a sexual harassment training thing when I worked at fucking Ulta. I was 16. Like, every job should be required for this, especially if you're a man. I know the men are going to be all angry, but you guys aren't even hired at morgues because you statistically are the ones who, trigger warning, beep the bodies. Like, I can't even say... I am just so appalled by men lately. Like, as I have gotten more comfortable in my sexuality, I think I've just realized more and more how low the bar is for men and how much we let slide. And it's like, oh, they're just boys, or they're just figuring it out, or oh, they didn't know. No. Anyway, they started explaining themselves, they as in Hockey Canada, and while they were doing that, the London police said that they were going to review their own investigation. Then in October 2022, Smith, remember he took over Rennie's spot, he was forced out as CEO of Hockey Canada, and the entire board of directors resigned. Yep. There was like an intern group that came in just for a little bit until everybody else got their spots ready, but in November 2022, Hockey Canada got a final third-party report. In April 2023, Hockey Canada's federal funding was restored, which, whatever. July 2023, Catherine Henderson was announced as the new Hockey Canada president and CEO. In November 2023, the hearing was complete, and they said that all the players from the 2018 team are suspended from any programs until the investigation and the process is completed. I'm so sorry this is so long. I have to give justice and speak about this, and this is so fucking dark, and I'm so sorry. January 2024, the Globe and the Mail, they reported 5 players were asked to surrender themselves to the London police. Now this is when I first heard about this case. But before that, Formenton and Doobie, they were already gone from their teams, and right after that, McLeod foot and heart did the same. All of their lawyers said that the players were innocent, and everyone was like, I don't know. The police in London, Ontario, they said that there was going to be a news conference in February to give an update on the investigation. And everybody was like, oh my God. On February 5th, 2024, this is when everybody started talking about this, because the detective sergeant and then the chief of the London police, they met with the media and gave everybody the details, you know? They said they found new evidence and they were reopening the investigation involving 5 players from Canada's 2018 World Jrs hockey team. When he started, he opened by saying there were, quote, insufficient grounds, end quote, after the first investigation. But he then apologized to EM, who is the victim, and said that it, quote, took so long to reach this point, end quote, and that she fully cooperated with the police and, like, she did everything fine. So now we are here, June 2024. Last month, there were 2 pre-trial application dates for September 5th and 6th, and those dates could be the first time the 5 accused players will be in person in this courthouse. But until now, only their lawyers and, like, their legal reps have had to go to all the court stuff. And the Ontario Superior Court, they already instituted a publication ban, which is, it kind of like, okay, most of my people here are from the US. I checked my demographics. So what that is it prevents them from reporting anything that can reveal the identity of an alleged victim in the case, which, honestly, good for her. I don't even know how. If she's somehow listening to this, you are so brave, and you are not alone at all, unfortunately. I mean, not unfortunately. Like, it's, okay, you know what I mean. Like, it's, okay, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, we recently found out that all 5 players agreed to have a trial by jury, and all of them, which, let's say their names again, Fermenton, Hart, Doobie, Foote, and McLeod, they are all set to become free agents this summer, and none of them have NHL contracts for the 2024-2025 season, which is good. A bunch of them were granted leaves of absences, but Formenton got one from, I think it was like something in Switzerland, because he played there for a couple seasons. The other ones left from the NHL. We have so many hockey hot topics today, I don't think we're even going to get into Hockey 101, because we're already at the 30-minute mark, and I've gotten into 2 hockey hot topics. I'm so sorry. This is a yappy episode, I think. Or it's just, I don't know. Anyway, the next topic we're going to talk about, we're going to go to something a little bit lighter, because this last topic was a little bit too much. And it is the fact that there is going to be a 4 nations face-off in Montreal and Boston from February 12th to February 20th, 2025. And if you don't know, I am in Boston, and that would be so cool to see. I would die. I would be so excited. If you don't know what the 4 Nations Face-Off is, it is this new tournament, and it obviously has 4 nations, Canada, the US, Sweden, and Finland, and they are going to be competing in the Bell Center, which is in Montreal, and the TD Garden, which is in Boston. I hope I can go. By then, imagine if I get, like, more media, that would be so cool. The last time we had a best-on-best type of hockey tournament with NHL players was the 2016 World Cup hockey, because NHL, as we know, did not participate in 2018 or 2022 Olympics. So it has been a while, and it is going to be exciting. They are going to use NHL rules, and each nation is going to play 3 tournament games, and they're going to do this in a round-robin format and use this point system where you get 3 points for a win in regulation time, 2 points for a win in overtime or a shootout, 1 point for a loss in overtime or a shootout, and then regulation losses result in 0 points. And then the 2 teams with the best records will play in the title game. Now, this is where I get excited. The championship game is going to be at TD Gordon. I'm so excited. I am so excited. And the NHL deputy commissioner, he said, quote, obviously we have 32 franchises, so we could have put it anywhere, but those are the 2 that kind of rose to the top, and both of the clubs were very cooperative and excited about hosting. So that is super exciting. I am always excited for a Boston game, especially something this big. It's going to be exciting to see, and I can't wait. The next hockey hot topic is a little bit of a strange one, and it's the fact that the Utah NHL franchise were asking prospects really weird questions in pre-draft meetings, allegedly. So, for those of you who don't know, for our rookies here, the Arizona Coyotes kind of were taken out of their home and moved to Utah for the next season, or forever, I guess. Utah, they have number 6 in the draft pick. They got a little bit creative when asking their questions. Now listen, I think some of these are funny, but some of these I feel like are genuinely weird. I don't know. Okay, you'll see. So one of the questions was what their Uber passenger rating is, and let me tell you, I've literally never ordered an Uber, actually once. And I don't know if I've been rated. That was 3 years ago. So I don't even know what I would respond to that. They were also apparently asked about their snap scores, which is another really weird thing. Why do you have to know that? I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to make it funny and trendy and cool, but I feel like they could have done something funnier than that. What's your favorite TikTok? Or I don't know, just what's your snap score is really weird to me. And your Uber passenger rating, I can kind of see how that's funny, but then at the same time, is it are you serious? Are you actually asking because you want to know if they're decent people? I don't know. All right, the next hockey hot topic is kind of a short one, and it's the fact that the New Jersey Devils brought on an assistant coach to help out Sheldon Keefe, and his name is, I don't know how to say his last name, but his first name's Jeremy. I think it's Colleton? I don't know. But here's the thing. This man is from the Chicago Blackhawks organization. And if you have not listened to my Kyle Beach episode, go listen to that before you come at me and say oh my God, she hates the... No, I've said it a billion times. I think the players are some of the funniest, coolest players in the league. They have a lot of personality. The organization, though, is allegedly shit. Anyway, yeah, so we'll see. I fear that I'm a little nervous and he may not live. I don't know. I kind of fear that the Devils 2023 season is never going to come back. That's what I think. Just kidding. That's not what I think, but that's what it feels like right now. But who knows? Maybe they will be absolutely a power duo and have this iconic bromance and everything's amazing. And I don't know. You never know. Hockey is one of those sports where you're oh my God, what just happened? I don't know. Sometimes I cannot keep up. The next hockey hot topic is a fun one, and it is the fact that the NHL actually raised their salary cap. They raised it for the 2024-2025 season up to $88 million, and it was $83.5 million last season. And it might just be a 5.39% increase, but it is the highest since 2018 to 2019, which was 6%. So that is awesome. I always think players deserve money. I mean, they put their whole lives into it. Once you really become a fan, you realize, you literally realize there's pretty much no off season. This is their life. Life. I don't know why I said that. I don't have an accent. Anyway, sorry. Even Gary, the NHL commissioner, Gary Bettman, said that, it's great to see, and, he's happy about it, which is good. He also said that he thinks it's going to just continue to go up, but who knows? Who knows? It's exciting. It's good to hear people get paid, but I wish the PWHL had some better funding, because that is a hockey hot topic for another day, because we've had too many serious ones today. I think we need to have some more lighthearted ones to end out the episode. This isn't really a hockey hot topic, but it is to me. And it's Natalie Spooner has the most adorable relationship with her little baby in the whole world, and she brought him on the purple carpet for the PWHL awards this past week, and he came in a suit. And I'm talking like a little baby. Like, I'm not talking like a 14-year-old son. Like, this is like a little baby. And I wish you could see. Like, I wish this was visual sometimes. But I highly recommend Googling, like, Natalie Spooner son purple carpet or something. Because he is the cutest little thing. And I just love seeing it. I love watching moms do iconic shit. Now, I normally would do a Hockey 101 segment to close out this episode, but we are already at 40 minutes in, and I have been recording for 3 hours now. Those topics were just so serious that, like, I needed breaks between them for a little bit. I needed some air. It was a heavy episode, so I hope that we ended on a little bit of a higher note. And if you want an even higher note, you can go check out our Instagram, which has a bunch of fun little posts that'll make you giggle and laugh. But that is at Penalty Box Podcast. All our socials are linked in that bio, by the way, in the link tree. So I highly recommend going and checking that out. My personal account is also linked there if you want to be besties. My dogs are right next to me. I don't know if you can hear them sniffing and licking, but they are getting hungry. Luna's licking. Yeah, she's right here. So I am going to go take them out. But thank you guys so much for listening and supporting. It genuinely means the world to me. Thank you to my amazing team of women who help the Penalty Box be the Penalty Box. I am so thankful for you. Thank you to my amazing podcast team, Rachel and Emma. You guys are iconic, and I could not do this without you. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next episode soon. I'll see you in the Penalty Box. Bye, guys.
Thanks for tuning into the Penalty Box Podcast. Don't forget to connect with us on social media by searching for the Penalty Box. Also, make sure you hit that follow button on Spotify. And if you enjoyed the show, leave us a 5-star review. Until next time, see you in the Penalty Box.